Hi you guys, my name is Guru Shakia and welcome to my beautiful channel. I felt guided to do a updated Oshun healing reading this week. For those of you who may not understand, I am basically a psychic medium and I use tarot cards to kind of spark my intuition, to kind of guide me into the messages my guides are trying to share with you guys. So I'm not necessarily a traditional tarot reader per se. So some of you guys are wondering like, oh, why does she read the cards this way or that way? It's literally just channeling that's coming through me, and I'm just using the images to spark what they're trying to say, if that makes any sense. But if you guys are interested in a reading, by all means, contact me in the detail box below. There are prices listed. I noticed some of you just send me whatever, like any amount. I understand if it's a tip, and I greatly appreciate it, but please try to stick to the initial pricings if you want a certain specific reading so I can cater to your needs. I am going to try to get a Skype readings available because I noticed some of you guys want more interactive content, as well as phone calls or whatever way you guys want it. I'm going to try to invest in a laptop here soon to make my business more serious. So hang tight, you guys. All right, I'm going to get right into it. So a lot of what my feminine energy has been focused on today is receiving. A lot of you guys have been having trouble in receiving, men and women. But mostly women, you have to practice being more feminine. As I look at the cards here, all the pentacles, like pentacles represent money to me in any reading, any given reading. And being in reverse, it represents that things are in the air. So maybe there's lovers around you trying to enter your life, or people trying to give you gifts and you're just being stubborn and prideful and not really allowing them to help you out. Maybe there's people in your life who want to give you a place to stay, for example. Maybe you're being prideful in that sense. Maybe there's a friend around you that's like, hey, you can stay here for a certain amount of time. I don't care. I'll even provide food, accommodation, all these things. But some of you guys are being very, very stubborn. There's a video I was watching today, actually, about how we lost our femininity by April Mason. And she was basically saying how women need to go back to receiving in our normal sense of energy, because we operate from a very masculine plane nowadays because we're always go-getters and things of that nature. But just practice receiving more, because that can be tied directly to your healing abilities. We can't always do everything on our own, even though we're capable. We're not saying that women aren't capable of doing things on our own, because even I get into the sense of oh, I can do it by myself. Why not? You know, I'm very capable, able body. I can do it by myself, so I end up doing it by myself. But we don't realize when people, places, or things are put into our life to just help us. For example, I totally missed the point today when I was lugging my luggage around to a new hostel and a guy offered to help me. And I was like, no, I got this. But that was like kind of like a test from the universe to allow, you know, kind of like a man to be a man. It sounds so gender roles or whatever. But sometimes we do need to allow ourselves to receive, even in a sense of compliments. So if people tell you you're beautiful or you're this, you're that, accept it in gratitude more so than being upset or lashing out at the man even. We have to go back to finding balance within ourselves and receiving, basically. Alright, so let's see what else is coming up here. Some of you guys okay, so some of you guys, and I'm not judging, obviously I'm very open to how people live their lifestyles, but some of you guys may be judgmental of this coming up in the reading. Some people are focused on attracting sugar daddies. And you very well might be doing so at this time. This is going to basically challenge your beliefs around money and receiving money. Some of you guys feel like, oh, you shouldn't be receiving money from a man because you did nothing to deserve it, or maybe you always feel like it's an uneven exchange, maybe. But once you heal your problems around money, it will come to you more naturally and freely. through all sorts of revenues, not just men, or not just but more so it is suggesting that you should heal your attitude towards money and gifts from men, because maybe the divine goddess is trying to create abundance in your life through these people, kind of like a easy flow of abundance. And sometimes we like to control how abundance is coming into our life, and sometimes there is guilt and shame around how it's coming to us. I did make a video around owning your beauty, for example, and not feeling bad for it or shameful about it, because some people do want to gift you because you are a beautiful woman. And a lot of us grow up feeling bad for that and just stop accepting everything or cutting off our energy flow of what comes easy and natural to us. But that's just something to consider, that your guides are suggesting, because they might be, again, gifting you these things through these people for a reason, to make your life easier, for things to flow freely. But you have to work on removing energetic blocks around money. Let's see. So some of you guys are kind of up in the air about your exes at this time, whether you should go or stay with them. But I'm hearing if they're causing you trouble, more drama than good, it's probably time to let them go or cut ties from them completely. Some of you guys get on a good track of where you ignore them for a while, but then you come back, and then it's a cycle all over again. But you have to decide whether you want to be in that kind of cycle forever, or you want your own sense of freedom. So you really question that at this time, to get serious and look at your situation in a serious matter, because it's like it's only so many times where you can keep going back and forth before a situation becomes permanent, or something that you don't want, or maybe a child comes out of a situation with a guy or girl you don't want to be with, for example. So it's really time to get serious about that. And for those of you, this card is also coming up for you to heal certain wounds pertaining to exes. Some of you guys are doing a really good job as far as cutting off ties from certain exes, and not letting them back into your life. And you're encouraged to keep going with that. So if someone's reaching out to you and like, oh, I need you, I need this, I need that, just keep your distance from them if they're toxic. And you pretty much know when they're toxic, because people tend to make us feel drained or make us feel bad about ourselves, our self-esteem, and so forth. Again, a lot of things about abundance is up in the air, and it is around beauty. I don't know, my guys just want to focus on that today. Some of you guys are struggling with owning your uniqueness, your beauty, your birthright as a woman, and receiving. So a lot of you guys need to cut some false beliefs out of your life that it's bad to receive, especially because you're just existing. I guess some of you guys just feel bad for not working hard for certain things, and you feel like you shouldn't get certain things because you don't work hard per se. But you have to understand that you're good enough to receive for just existing, basically. And really wholeheartedly feel that, like, just existing, you're worthy, not just your looks, but just your worth as a being. You're worthy of being here and receiving good things. Yeah, what else is coming up? A lot of you guys could be working on sex magic at this time, as far as like masturbating and manifesting through masturbation, which is what your guides have been kind of guiding you to get into. You could have people placed in your life who are teaching you these things at this time, especially women. Your sexual power and your healing power and your sexuality is very strong at this time. So your guides kind of want to gear you to sex magic and doing things more like masturbating and manifesting and visualization while you masturbate, because that's going to help you manifest things very quickly. So focus if you want, for example, if you want a certain car, or you want a certain amount of money, or you want a provider, things like that. Just focus more on what you want every day when you masturbate and see if it works for you, because you'll be surprised, I feel like, especially because women are taught not to own their sexual power, and no one teaches us to use it in this manner. So it may seem wrong or seem bad or seem manipulative. But we have certain powers and energy for a reason. It is to be used. It is for manifesting. Sex isn't just to create babies. It's to create masterpieces. It's to manifest things in our own timing. Things like that. It's very special, and we all owe it to ourselves to utilize that energy. Again, a lot of you guys need to practice stepping into your womanhood, meaning all the perks that come with being a woman. And again, in this society, even myself, I'm learning about feminism, so I'm very conflicted on where I stand. I don't know if I'm completely a feminist yet or what I believe in traditional based wise, but gender roles will have us feeling like it's bad to be a woman or to accept our curves or the perks that come with being a woman. So maybe you're gifted things just because you look pretty. Maybe you're given free food just because you look pretty, or because you're a curvaceous woman, or maybe you're given certain gigs because of how you look or how you present yourself, for example. But it's time to get over guilt and shame around being a woman, because being a woman, you embody a certain magic about you, whether you realize it or not. And it's not always about being pretty per se. It's just being a woman. You inhabit certain majestic or magical abilities to get what you want, because we're innately receivers. And sometimes people just do want to gift you, and we have to learn to be okay with that. Because if a man notices beauty, like, they want to, in a sense, men want to spoil people they feel are beautiful, and some people live for that, and it gives them great pleasure or joy or purpose even. So my guys are just saying, be open to that, to gifting and receiving, because there's a lot of it around you. You just have to be receptive to it, and be okay with receiving. And it could just start off with accepting smiles from men or accepting good gestures, and it goes from there, and then a constant flow can come into your life. So a lot of money surrounds you. Again, a lot of you guys need to resolve and heal sexual assault traumas, even your relationship with maybe father figures or men in general in your life, because a lot of us have grown to think that men are bad. Even myself, I have a bad relationship in general with black men, because I've always been treated bad, or I had a trauma compared to what happened to me when I was younger, for example. But we have to start working on those trauma wounds and be compassionate and caring with ourselves, and start just working on ourselves, realizing that it's not our fault if you've been in those types of situations. And again, practice receiving, because there's people in your atmosphere who wants to help you, but maybe you seem unworthy because that happened to you, or maybe you seem like you don't deserve these things because of where you come from, because of your skin tone, because of poverty. For example, if you grew up in a traditional mindset, like wanting a man to take care of you, you may grew up from poverty or a person of color, like, oh, only white girls get treated like by rich guys. But then you don't understand that you actually have the ability to manifest the exact same things regardless of your skin tone, regardless of where you came from. So it's like, just to reevaluate our reality and our abilities, understand that we too are beautiful, especially black women that's coming up. And if you do want a provider or sugar daddy or whatever the case may be, it is up to you. It's your prerogative, and it's nothing bad. Again, I made a video that said there's no right and wrong. But yeah, a lot of you guys are also getting over name calling and slut shaming, things like that. A lot of things are holding you back from embracing your sexuality in general as a whole. Could be family issues, could be the fact that you were slut shamed growing up whenever you try to express yourself through clothing, through sex, through whatever it could be. But yeah, a lot of you guys are getting past that now and trying to own your sexuality again. It might take you being vulnerable and putting yourself out there. So wearing more form-fitting clothes, showing skin if you want to. You don't have to, obviously. Having more sex when you want it. Masturbating when you want it. Feeling good because you want to feel good in certain things. But working on it like that. The last card here is the Hangman. Right now, your guides just want you to focus on having fun. That's literally it. Just having fun, being free. Especially if you're single at this time, they really want you to get out there and explore new terrain. Put yourself out there in your dating life if you're single. Through whichever means, Tinder, socializing in groups of people in person. If people make moves or passes at you, start flirting, winking back at them, being more bold, stepping outside your comfort zone. So wearing a red dress out kind of thing, going to dancing or whatever the case may be, just putting yourself out there. But yeah, some of you guys may be attracting your soulmate at this time because you are working on your sex magic. As you masturbate and visualize them, they could be coming to you quite instantaneously even. So keep working on that if you've been working on that. As always, be dope, be you unapologetically. I hope this helps you guys. Peace.